Okay. All right. So I guess we'll formally start the interview now. If I could just get y'all to say each of your names and we're Modular Sun.
Hi.
Oh. You go. We'll start from the outside and move in.
Hello. We're Modular Sun. We're from Austin, Texas.
What are each of your names?
Oh, I'm Jace. I play the bass.
I am Michael. I play synth and I sing.
My name is Jake, and I play guitar and vocals.
I'm Zach, and I play drums, and I'm in Modular Sun.
All right. Thank you guys for coming here.
Thank you for having us.
So, how long have y'all been playing together?
Well, I guess you could say that me, Zach, and Michael have been playing together for probably like 3 or 4 years? 3.5 years. 3.5. Me and Michael probably been playing together for about 4 or 5, almost. And Jace just joined us last year.
We've officially been Modular Sun for almost a year now. Just about. Next February.
Well, actually, yeah, like having the band name Modular Sun and everything. Jace joined in January, but yeah, we've had the name for a little bit over a year now. So yeah, like last November is when we kind of came up with Modular Sun.
What does the name mean?
It is just a wonderful 2 words that paired well together.
Good play on
We picked it out of a hat.
Really?
Yeah, we couldn't think of a band name, because the other band name we had before was lame as fuck, and I'm not inclined to say it right now because it was super lame. It sounded like a 15-year-old.
Gravel.
Oh, no. Yeah, it was gravel.
Gravel?
Yeah.
Gravel.
We played doom metal.
Doom.
But, yeah, we just kind of decided we didn't want to play doom metal anymore. And we're like, we need a new band name. And then picked it out of a hat. There was 4 or 5 other options. I don't remember the other ones.
Well, I think y'all picked a good name. How would you describe your sound if it's not doom metal?
Not doom metal, not anymore.
Use words other than doom and metal.
Metal doom. No, it's it's a good mix of basically, I mean, just classic rock, psych rock,
Garage rock,
surf rock, just a big mix of.
You throw some funk in there sometimes.
Yeah, just very
prog
60s,
sometimes.
70s influence.
Kind of delving into the prog and jazz world a little bit, slowly getting in there.
It's a deep, dark hole to go down.
Oh yeah,
It's a great one though, my friend.
I feel like bands like y'all who kind of blend genres a lot and don't really fit into a nice, neat hole, except maybe the dark, deep hole that you're diving down right now. I feel like it's annoying when people ask you, what kind of music do you play? Does that ever annoy y'all? And
I mean, I don't see it as being annoying ever. It's more of just it's such a hard question to answer. And it's just I mean, it's very open-ended, and we have all of our own influences that we bring in. And honestly, the music that we write is just the music we like to play, and whatever comes out of it is what we've deemed hey, this is cool. Let's play it. Let's keep on playing it because we like it. Yeah. And if we ever find something new that we really like, and we want to kind of incorporate styles of that into it, then we're going to do that as well.
Yeah, it's just a big loaded question that we definitely don't have a legit answer for.
I just say whenever someone asks what we play, I just say it's at its base sound, it's rock and roll, but we incorporate a lot of other different stuff into it.
Could y'all talk about each of your influences, what you grew up listening to?
I started out listening to hardcore punk and metal, but now my favorite
What you
band.
Started on?
Yeah, that's what I started on playing too. But I guess now my favorite band. Now my favorite band is Gong.
Gong.
But I mean, my favorite band when I was in high school was Megadeth, Slayer, the Morbid Angel, Death, Black Flag, The Descendants, Minor Threat.
Yeah, I guess starting off when I first started playing drums, it was just hardcore punk and grunge and stuff like that. So I mean, literally what really got me started playing drums, what made me want to get good at drum set was just I would listen to Nirvana hours on end. And then I started playing more stuff like Bad Brains, Dead Kennedys, Black Flag, stuff like that. And then my senior year of high school, I started playing old like classic rock, like Zeppelin and Sabbath and stuff. And then once I started playing along the Zeppelin tracks, it's like I fell down this hole of like, oh my God, these drummers are geniuses. And now I'm like deep into like prog and jazz and stuff. And I mean, my favorite band of all time is probably Rush. But I mean, I've been listening to a lot of Yes, a lot of, what other bands? Gentle Giant, stuff like that. Wand. Wand's like a really good modern psych band. I listen to a lot of modern psych bands too. But yeah, prog and jazz are what I'm in.
That they don't pigeonhole themselves either.
Exactly, yeah. That's where we take a lot of influence from is Wand because they explore so many different styles and everything, and it's really cool. That's just kind of how we do our thing.
And I got my influences just from, I guess my dad would just show me all of his classic dad rock albums and everything, like AC/DC and just all those dudes. And then I eventually just kept listening to that stuff and found Pink Floyd and just dove deeper into that. And then I didn't really start actually playing any instruments until probably in 2015. I went to Levitation and just really dug it. And I was like, I just want to start playing an instrument. And I picked up the bass, and I've just been doing that ever since.
My father was in a band, so he kind of got me into like playing guitar and singing and stuff. They do like 70s covers, 50s stuff. I really digged Pink Floyd growing up and Black Sabbath. The Beatles we haven't mentioned yet, have we?
Oh yeah,
We all love the Beatles.
That's right.
And yeah.
That's a classic. The Beach Boys.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Beach Boys is like that's
My
one.
number 2 favorite band besides Gone.
Yeah, they're also in my top 3 also. Oh yeah, and
What about Beach Boys and the Beatles do y'all like? Because those are the
Harmonies.
two outliers of everything you've named.
the harmonies and just like the overall blissfulness and just kind of peaceful happiness of their music is what really kind of captivates me. And also the simplicity is what is like, I mean, especially for me, like the rhythm section and everything, it's so simple yet so effective and pulled off so perfectly. Like people crap on Ringo all the time, like, oh, he doesn't do enough, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, the guy's a genius. He plays the song as it's meant to be played. Like, I don't, like, a drummer that goes out there and does like a million different kind of fills, it gets old after a while. You want a guy that keeps a beat that can make people dance, and that's why Ringo's a genius.
I like the Beach Boys. Well, because they were like the first band to ever like rock band at least to ever incorporate like orchestra and unconventional rock instruments. Like I'm pretty sure there's like vibraphone, violins, trumpets, cellos, flutes, all that. What'd you say?
That one percussion is
The gyro, yeah. And then dulcimer on the Pet Sounds album. And I mean, all the songs are relatively simple in their composition, but the instrumentation and the arrangement is very complex.
Both those bands kind of started out being heavy pop, basically pop bands, boy bands kind of thing. But then they transitioned into like what you're talking about, more experimental.
Once they started doing psychedelics.
Right. So do you think, like, I think I've heard from a lot of psych bands that these two bands in particular, Beach Boys and the Beatles, are super influential. Why do you think, besides, like, is there something about that culture as well, like the pushing back against, like, the pop, perfectly packaged songs that you find attractive, or is that off?
I'd say
I'd say yeah.
Just because like just going with like what everyone else is doing, what everyone likes as a mass group, I guess you just can get very old. Very
I mean, that's
quick.
what leads a scene to just kind of dissipate. Like it's just kind of following the same trend over and over again, and no real differentiality or differentiation in it and everything. So experimenting with different stuff that keeps your music fresh is like an integral part of everything. Like, yeah, you, like just kind of following that constant trend of like pop music that's just da 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 da. It gets kind of old. Yeah, following the 1/4/5 and then just all common time like 4/4 music. It's not that it's bad music, because I mean some of it's really good and there's always an audience for it. But sometimes you need to experiment just to keep your ideas fresh, to make sure and to be able to do things.
Yeah, gotta expand.
Expand your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I read a quote one time that said, It's gonna get a little bit vulgar here, but it said, "Music without experimentation is just masturbation."
I can dig it.
I believe
that's
that.
very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Austin psych scene is probably, Allie, you'd probably know more about this than I do, but
I can answer this.
can you just like talk about the scene, because you're talking about lack of experimentation leads to the death of a scene. Are you?
I feel like
just talk about.
I'm a massive
bit.
fan of it because like when we came up with like Modular Sun, we started kind of hanging out with the band, like playing with bands that were experimenting with psych and everything from like the North Texas, like or like North Austin, like Cedar Park kind of area. There were a lot of bands that are kind of experimenting with psych. So we were playing with those guys. And then once we started kind of coming down, playing shows in Austin and everything, we noticed all of these bands with like kind of their own unique sound, like, and they pull it off so well. Like you've got bands like Nolan Potter's Nightmare Band, the Millbrook Estates, Hayes County.
Yeah, I mean, everyone.
The Sun Machine, yeah.
Everyone in the psych scene,
King Country,
like, definitely has their very own unique style, and they're all doing their own experimental stuff, and they're just like everlastingly expanding the sound and the scene.
So when did y'all kind of come on the scene? I know you said you're up north a bit.
Yeah, like we played a couple shows at like Carousel Lounge in January and February just to kind of try and get our foot in the door in Austin, and then Jake, he got us a show at the Electric Church.
Oh yeah, through Laura Mendoza. And
Shout out to Laura.
Shout out to Laura and Secret Soup Records, who Jason and I both work with. But
Laura's been here too. Is what she was the first band.
Yeah,
Cosmic
dude, Chaos.
She's awesome, dude, and she does so much for this community, and just generally inspires female musicians, just to know that they don't have to, go up on stage strutting around half naked to be good, Like, it's awesome, and she inspires a lot of women to, go out and start a band, which is awesome. And I would definitely say that there's a counterculture going on here in Austin.
In the psych scene?
Not even just the psych scene, like the punk scene and the the DIY scene is what I would call it. Yeah. Like, you got places like the Bird Barn too, the house venues that are very DIY art community spaces. It's awesome.
I'm gonna give another quick shout out to another badass lady from Austin, Michelle Moss Martin, who runs Moss Music Records, and she does a lot too, like Laura does, and like that label, they've signed a lot of really good Austin bands. Like I said, King Country, Nolan Potter's Nightmare Band, and the Sun Machine are all on there. The Bowleys are on there. It's never mind. But yeah, like she runs that label, and she's gotten like all these bands to be like. I think all those bands played on Saturnalia this year. Mm-hmm. Like she's doing wonderful things too. So yeah, it's like this whole community is just doing so many good things, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and everyone helps each other. Like no one's really a stranger in the psych scene, and
there's no like aggressive competition. It's always just like everyone gets along, and we're like, let's do this together. It's not like there's no rivalry. It's all just let's make this scene our thing, and we're gonna make it awesome.
Yeah, make it bigger every day.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, man.
So do y'all like function outside of just being a band? Do you do any like recording? Do you record people? Do you do anything like that?
I mean, me and Jake, we work with Lauda and Secret Soup, so we do that whole thing every now and then, and it's just like I make posters for shows and like help book every now and then, and Jake helps book a lot, and he helps run sound at venues. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, what do you do?
If any band ever wants to record, I guess me or if any band ever wants to record something through Secret Soup, I guess me and Lauda would be the ones that would handle that.
Yeah, it's like doing engineer work and all
audio
that.
Engineering.
I feel like most of the people in the DIY scene end up doing a little bit of everything. Like you're never just a musician or just a booker. Like you do everything.
Yeah, and it's fun to like learn what other things you can do in the music industry.
The best way to learn is by doing it.
Yeah. Like when we started recording our EP kind of back in the springtime and everything, And just like these sessions, Jake knew quite a bit of what was going on and everything. And I mean, I'd be sitting behind the drum set recording drums, like, what the hell am I doing? And so that kind of inspired me to really take a jump and want to learn like audio, like engineering and just all this other stuff for like work in the studio and like live sound and everything. So basically, yeah, just kind of noticing all these things has made me want to jump forward and be able to do more than just kind of sit behind a drum set.
Cool.
Just be able to do, yeah.
Well, I think we've had a pretty good interview so far. Is there anything else y'all want to say about the band or the scene? Or
Yeah, we got an EP coming out pretty soon. Should be out.
Towards the end of the month, yeah. We have a show on December 28th at the Electric Church. Booked by our very own Jake Latouf.
Come to that show. It's going to be awesome. It's going to have
who's playing?
King Country, Rickshaw Billy's Burger Patrol,
The Nomads.
and the Nomads. Nice. They're all really loud and really heavy bands.
Really, it's going to be a great night.
Also, we're going on tour this summer. It's in the process of being booked, and
Our
second tour. We're going. I think we're going to be out for a month, but but we have we've also got like a little double-sided single coming out right before the tour. We're gonna try to get it pressed to vinyl, but see what we
got
can
an
do.
EP and a double-sided coming out way after that EP.
Yeah, I'm going to be working on that.
But yeah,
Right
that's
on.
basically it right now. We're just hanging out, taking it easy, playing a couple shows,
Yeah.
drinking.
Anything
some beer.
pops up, just gotta have some fun and do it, man.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
This has been Porsche Fire Records.
Signing off.
Woo, yeah.